Constantine is a man who, put simply, knew his soul was damned to hell, and during the life he had left, he tried to redeem himself and use his last efforts in the will of good. That's all I'm gonna say. All I'm gonna say on the subject. But I just wanted to point out that obviously me and Whispy found this. This has never been found before in the game, as far as I know, and this is something very important as far as I'm concerned. But I will let Whispy Woodz follow up on that one. I am sorry if they.
Thank you, Herb. I will follow up on that. The fact of the matter is that there are things in this game, okay, that are shaped and molded, that are actually created, just like this billboard, and just like other parodies in the game, like the Galileo Observatory. But they are parodies of one thing to the next. And when we take these things, we are supposed to, once again, do what the game is telling us to do. And that is segregate. And that's all I've been doing here. My buddy Herb actually found this billboard. And when we pointed out that Jonathan Constantine had something to do with it, I already know we were on the right track when it comes down to Judgment Day. But understand, there are other things in this game that have been molded and shaped from the mystery, from movies. And that is what we'll be getting into today. Jonathan Constantine is one of the things that was showing us some of the things that I've already shown you.
This bird is representing something that was very monumental within its symbolism. Is liver. Alright? Wordplay. Liver. Now, I want you to pay attention to the monument. Aside from the fact that it has a clock in this game, obviously deals with certain aspects of time, but there are two twin, you guys, twin symbols of a bird up here. And it was a big part of this bird's history that it was unnamed. They didn't really know what bird it was. That was a part of this crest. Okay? But it wasn't until a while ago that it was actually named as the cormorant. Okay? Think about it. Now, that doesn't get you. I want you to understand a big part of why it's called the liver building. Okay? And, you know, aside from the fact that it is resided in Liverpool, all right? Liver building, okay? And the Liverpool building had the cormorants on the top, two light blue twin cormorants, okay? Now that I've shown you that, I'm going to show you the correlation between Liverpool and Leonardo da Vinci. Because I'm telling you, there's a reason they wanted you to understand the liver bird. So you can understand one more thing that we have been missing, which is Leonardo and his work. Flight and Science Research Group. All right? It's one of the things that is featured at the University of Liverpool. And look at their fucking logo, you guys. If you can get it clear, look at it. They are the same fucking cormorants, and they have the seaweed coming out of their mouth. Alright? The seabird. And I'm trying to tell you guys, this shit is correlated.
Okay, so now we're looking at Jonathan Constantine. And a big reason why I focused on an old video and why I even showed you those last few clips from an old episode was to show you that, once again, there were things that we were supposed to understand regardless of the path we were supposed to take, which is why they obscured a lot of the same clues in different forms. so we can understand at least one ethic of the same truth. But if we do not connect, if we do not make the connections, then we are left with no new information. This was just an ethic of understanding newer information. But understand, parts of this information we already understood a different route. But nonetheless, it proves that it was something that we were supposed to understand. Jonathan Constantine is an occult detective from Liverpool, England. His violent and antisocial attitude makes him a formidable anti-hero, and he's known for doing whatever it takes to get the job done. And just like Herbalist said, a lot of this aspect is about him being good or evil and the balance between heaven and hell, but him ultimately choosing his balance as good. Now, a big aspect of the movie that I want to bring into light that is very intriguing is Keanu Reeves and understanding possibly a duality of something that Keanu Reeves has played, which is The Matrix, a movie about a godlike man and or the one who comes from an aspect of allegories within the Bible and making a choice between red or blue color spectrums and choices. But if that has nothing to do with it, I understand if you don't see it that way. But another thing that does bring us right back to the same aspect of the same information is Alan Moore. In some aspect, can be thought of as Alan O. Think about it. And I gotta give that one to my boy Bry. And it proves my point, once again, that everyone can understand the same information because it's the right information, although we find it in different ways. This movie shit isn't over. It really is just the beginning. I will be getting into more. And the in-game movies within GTA 5 were telling us something just as much. So what we're watching here now is Meltdown, a movie that was produced by Richards Majestic and Michael DeSanta. Now, I want you to understand, there's a reason why they wanted you to watch this movie, and it's to bring some information. Now, if you did not think animals had something to do with this game, understand, they made this movie relevant. Okay? They made it relevant for a reason. And I'm going to show you why. So now, the first real intriguing thing I want to show you is the aspect of, once again, animals, okay, being hidden behind spectrums of red, gold, and green, okay, and also bulls, bears, dogs, understand, birds, and whales. Think about it. You're a mammal or a bird. Make whales extinct. What do we know to be whales? Narwhals. Think about it. On the good aspect, the blue aspect, what do we see? They're showing us things. Or a bird. Make narwhals extinct. The unicorn. Destroy the devil. Not the bird. And now, once again, the red aspect. The evil. Okay? Ride the bulls. Mount the bears. Put down the dogs with the fleas. The red and blue choices. No different than the Matrix, like I've been saying before. But, once again, movies are a big aspect of this game and are going to teach us things. Even movies that have been out way before this game. And it's because, once again, this mystery is bigger than GTA. Now we're at the theater, and this is Capolavera, a movie that has been in this game since last gen, and that a lot of people have not linked to the mystery until about right now. And the fact of the matter is that I feel as though not only does this prove a little bit about what Bry was talking about in his video about the ladder, and honestly a little bit of what I was saying in my video about the Tower of Babel, and how it is basically a ladder and or a stairway to heaven. And it's very interesting that it connects right down Sinner's Path. Now, I'm going to show you this movie, and we're going to go down a little bit of why it correlates in the mystery, and why it shows us things that we've been looking up before, and why we've always should have been looking at these things. Two twin mirrored clocks. A spinning, rotating clock and a dead horse. Notice how the clock is Roman numerals. Okay? Understand that. The mimes, the tree, the chicken.
Ta femme doit être remarquable. Ces rêves que tu as à la fois éveillé et endormi. Mais tu n'es qu'un simple voleur.
The water. The ladder.
Freud a beaucoup d'explications à donner.
¿Quién ha dicho eso? ¿Dónde estás? Muéstrate.
Antoine, de quoi parles-tu? S'il te plaît, Antoine, s'il te plaît.
The tree.
Tu parles de moi.
A voice
María, ¿tú lo escuchaste? ¿Quién era?
by a tree.
Antoine, qu'est-ce qui te prend ces temps-ci? Depuis la mort de Luigi, tu n'es plus toi-même.
Tú lo
Religion.
dices, querida mía. Si te hace feliz, y así lo dices.
J'ai marié un voleur. Un bon, honnête voleur qui connaissait sa place dans la vie. Maintenant.
Now listen, I want to explain something here. I've watched this movie several times. What she's saying here is that she's went through a lot in her life, only to be stuck with a hermaphrodite. Okay? But understand the duality and what they're telling us here.
Je suis coincée avec un hermaphrodite.
This statue is in Liberty City, and this angel has a staff of iron. Antichrist, and or within duality, an angel with a holy scepter. Goats. birds, fallen goats,
Une créature qui ne sait plus
flying
si c'est un homme ou
birds.
une femme. Quelle est
I want you to understand what she's saying. Every bit of it.
une créature qui ne sait
A creature who no longer knows if he is a man or woman. She hates the fact that she is stuck with an hermaphrodite. Think about it. They are telling us about Trevor and how evil it is for you to be Trevor.
plus s'il est un homme ou une femme. Quel est le mensonge et quelle est la moitié de la vérité?
Which is the lie, and which is the half-told truth.
Pourquoi les choses doivent être aussi simples mais continuellement
Why must things always be so simple?
prosaïques de notre réalité physique au jour le jour?
Pay attention to those clocks
María,
and
María,
how the
María,
day
mi
is
querida
changing,
María, tu madre, perdóname, pero no me lo perdonaré si no confieso. Era una mujer
and
horrible
how
con
they're
un alma
Roman
de
numeral
del diablo.
clocks.
T'as pas honte, Antoine? Toi et les autres
Once
qui
again,
vivent dans
goats
cette misérable subconscient primaire.
and wolves. Pay attention to that once again, because this is a big symbolism within Trevor.
Mi querida María, tu madre,
He's running,
perdóname, pero no me lo perdonaré si no confieso. Era una mujer
and then
horrible
they
con un
show
alma que robó del diablo.
El Diablo,
T'as pas honte, Antoine?
goats,
Toi et les
wolves.
autres qui vivent dans ton misérable subconscient primaire.
Antonio, Antonio, réveille-toi, réveille-toi.
Why would he say El Diablo? Think about it.
Cállate.
And then the heart of happiness.
Déjame soñar en paz.
Think about it.
Est-ce que c'est à ça que tu veux réduire toutes
And they
les
show
femmes
the
en cause
mimes,
d'une analyse
which
réductrice
represent
du
the
féminin
skull
et d'un archétype classique
and the
de la
hi-hat,
dépression?
death,
Oh, por el amor de Dios. Deja de sonar como mi esposa cuando no está
a
pagando
royal
comer por sí
stature
misma.
of death.
Ta femme, est-ce qui je suis maintenant?
Espero que no.
Peut-être suis-je Luigi.
The fact that we have understood things to this point only gives us more information,
Lo hemos considerado
which is
por
why
la
we can
cámara muchas
understand
veces.
these certain
Consideramos el
things.
modernismo. Predijimos el
Mirrored
posmodernismo.
mimes.
Adoptamos el surrealismo. Refutamos la visión tecnocrática del futuro de la humanidad. Tantas maravillas hemos adoptado que me asombro del sistema.
And then a
de
boat.
El águila que escucha el susurro de una flecha.
The eagle that hears the whiz of an arrow as it strikes its heart. Eagles are tied to the heart. This is why the American eagle holds the arrow. Okay? It's no different. I will talk about whiz a little later on in another video, but we will focus here.
Mientras hiere su corazón, ve que la flecha ha sido creada usando sus propias plumas.
Sees that the arrow has been a feather of its own plumes.
Ce cheval est d'une finesse, Antonio.
What a fine horse it is. It's not a horse, it's my life. A man with such physical simplicity is a man I can indeed respect. You mean that it is my ability to negate humanity by robbing and overpowering my fellow creatures?
Robando y conquistando a mis queridas.
That I create the respect of you, a beautiful woman I stumbled across? And then she says, no. She means that in your shallowness, you have yet again sublimed the feminine into the masculine desire ideal form. What this means is that there is a duality when it comes to being feminine and being a man. Okay? They're saying that it's okay to do yoga and do some of the less manly things as Michael. Okay? But understand, that doesn't excuse Trevor for his evil duality of doing some of the fucked up shit like being in dresses and pulling down his pants in front of other men. Stuff like that. That's in the bad duality.
Superficialité, tu as encore une fois sublimé le féminin jusqu'à la forme idéale du désir masculin.
Comme ma mère a prédit que tu ferais.
Es un error común entre traidores y entre pecadores.
I want you guys to understand, once again, there's no other reason they would be adding chickens in this fucking game if it was not trying to tell us things. Now, understand, there are dualities with thinking Rooster, Claude, and all of the above. But there's also a duality that is teaching us things about a movie retrospect that we are supposed to understand. And once again, I find it very intriguing that there are goats in this movie everywhere, yet I have yet to see a goat in the game.
Chicken right there. There's a few chickens in the background too before the scene starts. But why would that chicken just be sitting there? Think about it.
789 past the 9th meridian.
It's very subtle. It's the small things, you guys. Yes, there are chickens in parts of the game. Okay.
Have you seen them?
But I mean, look.
Seen who?
They're right in the middle of these guys. And then they're spaced. Look at the scene. They're spaced out so you can see what's in front of them. No different than Michael being on that building and then wanting you to see what was on the side. Okay? It's no different.
And some said,
look at it.
came to me last week.
It's real subtle, but it's blatant all at once. Okay? They got these chickens sitting here right in the middle of the scene. They could have, once again, they could have shot this scene in so many different angles, you guys.
And the fear is representative of the bird that he's also representing within duality of a rooster, which is a chicken. And if you read the mountain spirit, which is one of the 3 monkey scrolls, it's basically based on fear and like conquering your fear. Parts, you get grove, DeLorean, time, travel, you get time machine, you get enlightened, chicken.
Man, stupid, I said no. What's wrong, McFly? Chicken? What did you call me, Griff? Chicken! McFly! Nobody calls me chicken.
Nobody calls him chicken. Now, what I want you to understand, you guys, is that this mystery, once again, is bigger than GTA. And chickens were something that we were supposed to pay attention to. Not just 1.21 gigawatts. There are other movie aspects within this game that go within the movie. And I will show a little bit more, but consider this only a preview for what we will be getting into. So now what we're looking at here is Back to the Future, and I bought a lot of the movies that correlate with the mystery so that we can take a big and deep retrospect within understanding why they correlate with not only what I've been teaching you people about the symbolism, okay, understand the bluebird, but a lot of the things that correlate within the mystery, possibly physically, okay? Now, one thing I want to point out here is that we do not physically have any of these poles and or rods that connect to the Docker and or DeLorean, so there just might be other keys to this that we're missing, possible sequences that correlate with one another to get this machine and or space docker to start working. Possibly, but there might be more than we know, along with a lot of the aspects of karma within the game. So understand, if we're going the route of Franklin, there may be two choices of karma, and there may be different aspects of going back to the future, okay, different ways to do it, which is possibly why those generators are everywhere. Now, we're going to take a look at the first movie and something that correlates with a sequence that, for some reason, you guys, is in the game.
Damn it, Doc. Why did you have to tear up that letter? We only had more time. Wait a minute. I got all the time I want. I got a time machine. I can just go back early and warn him. Okay, 10 minutes ought to do it.
Red, gold, and green.
Okay. Time circuit's on. Flux capacitor. Fluxing.
Right before I show you this scene, okay, which is a pinnacle scene right before he actually goes back into time, okay, at the last scene of Back to the Future. We need to notice some of the key things that for some reason, you guys, is in GTA. And there's something that happened right before this and something that is going to happen right now that is for some reason in the game. Let me demonstrate. Roman numeral clock. Understand the leopards, twin leopards. There are key things that this movie can teach us. And it's a good thing I bought most of them so we can understand a lot of this. Pay attention. Look. This is why it's relevant. The bell. The clucking bell. This is how we know we are on the right track. There's more. Pay attention. I want you to watch that again. Watch what he does. Watch what Marty does, you guys. Slide. Hop in. Okay, so now that we've seen that first part, okay, the part that leads up to this, okay, understand that is possibly part of the sequence and or action that we may, just may, have to do. I mean, my question is why would they add it in the game other than just being stylish, right? But it's very odd that these key things are in the movie. Let me demonstrate. For some reason, the DeLorean will not turn on. Once again, notice the Roman numerals. One very interesting thing about Roman numerals within GTA is that Speed Claude was on GTA 3, and GTA 3 was the very first GTA that we actually had Roman numerals. Notice how he can't start the car. you notice how the thunder and the lightning is happening around this time too, which is a key part of the timing here. Roman numerals, once again.
This time, come on. Please, come on.
And how does he start it? The horn. He honks the fucking horn, you guys. Isn't that some shit? Now, the reason I'm showing you this is because, once again, it's very interesting that these key things are in the game.
This time, come on. Please.
Start, you piece of crap.
Okay, I want you guys to really open your minds here. Is this, and I'm asking you, is this why they have several different horns on the space docker? Because one, assumingly to be the wow signal, makes perfect sense that they would add other horns that possibly trigger different things. And or maybe one special horn in between that sets off the time traveling aspect within the sequence. Is that true? Now, aside from that question, I want you to think, why is it that they would reference so many things to horns in the game and then mention so many things to Back to the Future if there was no real correlation? And for those of you wondering, why don't I just try it right now, try the sequence out, it's because I do not want to cut my duality tree short, okay? I don't want to cut out a lot of the possibilities that could be in between what we're doing, because we are possibly not noticing every single thing. The point here is to notice every single thing so that way we do not have to restart once again. My question to you is that when we figured out that we fucked up from the beginning, how many of you restarted your game? Do you want to restart your game again? No, right? That's why I'm giving you guys this information, but I'm not going to try it just yet. Hear me when I say that, just yet. Because I am trying to follow a specific path within the sequence. Now that we have some leeway within physicalities, okay, physical things within the game that we can do, we have to get down a lot of the timing and a lot of the placement within where we possibly need to be and what time this specific Easter egg is supposed to happen. Because once again, these Easter eggs are planned on timings. And Franklin's most likely is no different, along with the several different sequences within the game. Okay, so now what we're looking at, okay, is the theater that Marty McFly went through when he went through the time travel experience on the last scene. Now, understand what I mean by this. I don't want you to get too confused with the fact that we're looking at physical things, because understand too, there is a spiritual essence to understanding these Easter eggs, okay? And it's no different than why Marty McFly, when he went through this theater, okay, in the DeLorean, in the next scene, the theater is actually depicted as something else. And it is the assembly of Christ. Jesus saves. Once again, there is a spiritual aspect to all of this, because it is deeper than GTA. Spread the truth.